My name is Luis Ortiz, and I'm from the Dominican Republic, and now I'm the hitting coach of the Texas Rangers.
이렇게 인터뷰하게 돼서 정말 반갑습니다.
No, likewise. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
예.
I try to help prepare our players and trying to get them to reach the highest potential as a player. So we use a lot of drills and information to try to get them to the best possible potential that they have. I played baseball, Little League in the Dominican. Then I got a scholarship to play baseball at a university in Tennessee. I got drafted to play for the Red Sox. Played for the Red Sox for a couple years. Then I got traded to the Rangers. I went to Japan for a year, so I played 14 seasons. It was marked with a lot of injuries, surgeries, 4 surgeries, but tried to be strong mentally and just continue to play as long as I could. And then after I stopped playing, then I went into coaching. Very proud of that accomplishment, but at the same time, very sad because they take him out of school really young to practice baseball, so they don't get opportunity to continue their education. So only a few of us had the opportunity to both play in the major leagues and graduate with a college career. I know there's been a couple other guys that had come after that, like I think Jose Bautista and Rafael Bunigal. There was a couple other guys that finished their degree. I went to a little bitty school in Jackson, Tennessee. They told me that because it was small, I was not gonna get drafted really high. So I waited, first round, second round, then in the 8th round, I got drafted and very excited. The reason why I didn't sign in the Dominican is because my mom and dad wanted me to have an education. So I tried to go to school and play baseball, so I came to America, was able to accomplish both with a lot of hard work, and really proud of that.
그래도 가족들을 떠나서 이렇게 미국으로 오는 부분이 두렵거나 좀 그러진 않았는지요?
I was considered a mama's boy.
Yeah.
I was really close to my mom. My dad worked really hard, so leaving my family was really difficult. But they also knew that was for our future. It's not like now where technology kept everybody close with the phone. It was, I would go to a public phone, put quarters, 25 cents. Yeah, first Christmas, I couldn't go home because there was not enough money for plane ticket. It was a difficult time, but it was a sacrifice that you got to make to better your life. Yes. So I went up really fast. Probably it wasn't a good idea. I mean, we as players, we want to go to the big leagues really fast, but I don't think I was ready. I played second base in college, then I go to the Red Sox, they made me play third base, new position, arm angle changed from here to here. My arm started hurting a lot, so I had surgery, so I should spend more time in the minor leagues to be really ready. But when you get called up, you don't think about that. You just, big leagues. There was some big stars. My first game, Roger Clemens was the pitcher, Andre Dawson, Hall of Famer, Mo Vaughn, Mike Greenwell, really good players. And first game, we're playing Rangers, Ivan Rodriguez, Juan Gonzalez, Rafael Palmeiro. So first game is like, wow, and
Big star.
Big stars.
Yeah.
But it was a great experience, and those people you watch on TV when you're younger, and now you're in the same field with them. So that was really exciting. It was a different time. You learn by observing. It wasn't that much talking like do this, do that. Major League at the time, it was more compete, go play, go win games. There was not that much talk about mechanics or anything like that. It was more like play. There was a couple players that helped me, but it's not like now. It's not like Chu gets Odor or somebody teach him how to pitcher does this, you do that. It was more like you observe, you're quiet, and then you learn that way. No, so what I did, so I played I played 14 seasons. Then in my 13th season, I called my university and I said, what do I need to do to graduate? So in minor leagues, I'm studying and taking classes. So I graduated right before my last year of playing baseball. Then I came home and I opened a baseball school because I want to be a part of my daughter's life. And 4.5 years later, the Rangers called me and said, hey, you want to coach? I said, maybe, let's try it. So I went for 3 months, tried coaching. I like it, they like it. And then we started a relationship like that. So I was with the Rangers for about 5 years. Then I went to Cleveland for 2 years. Then I went to 샌디에이고 for 3 years. Then the Dodgers for 1 year, and then I came back to the Rangers again. Yeah, when I play, I went to Japan, and I didn't play much, but I learned a lot. The discipline, the work ethic, the love for the game, I love all that. It was really nice. I wish I played more, but you know, it didn't work out that way, but I brought a lot of those lessons back with me when I came back. From playing in Japan and coming back, the one thing that really helped me was attention to details. You know, things like that we take for granted. In Japan, they actually practice it. Like monsoon season is gonna happen, they get the grass wet and they roll a ball and you gotta throw the baseball wet. So, you know, practice things that are gonna happen in the game. When it happens in the game, you're surprised. There, no surprises. Whatever could happen in the game, they're gonna practice. So that helped me a lot. You know, I came back to the Rangers, played Rangers for a little bit in the minor leagues, then Kansas City, Milwaukee in AAA. I played maybe 7 more years. So I went to Japan 1997, then retired 2004. There was a couple of reasons. When I was playing, I was hurt a lot. I was trying to think about life after baseball. So I didn't make that much money, but I have a lot of experience with baseball. So I said, what can I do? What can I do? So I started writing about my experiences and the drills and the practices. I wanted to write books. I said, what can I do that I can be with my family and also be able to provide for my family? And I decided maybe doing a baseball school, it will allow me to be in the morning, be with the family. So it was a good balance for our family at the time. There were some teams that wanted me to go coach, but I wanted to be home first. Yeah, it was books about baseball, especially hitting. I started when I was playing, some of those big stars that you were mentioning earlier, they would ask me for advice and we would talk about, I started thinking maybe the information is good. So I just started writing down stuff that I learned. I would see a drill, I would write it down. I ended up having a contract for 10 books. But after 4 books, publishing company taking too long. So I said, okay, no more. So I still have a lot of the content, a lot of the information, and I'm trying to figure out how to put it out there one of these days. Who? Yeah. Oh,
It's me.
wow. That's you, yeah. I recognize her face, yeah. Small world.
사진이 있는데.
Wow. Wow, that's incredible. You need to send me that picture. What a great person. A lot of energy. Kept the clubhouse really happy. You know, so he brought a lot of energy, passion for the game, wanted to always learn. He was a really big part of us changing the culture. Before 2016, 15, San Diego, but then we started getting better players, more energy, and now the playoffs. Hi, great seeing you. I miss you, and keep a lot of success. And I enjoy my time with you. You know, you understand after you've been coaching for a little while that players learn different ways. So there's some players like Elvis Andrews. If I talk to him, he can draw it in his head and he's able to do it. Then other players, they need to see it. So a lot of those drills is to avoid confusion. If you have a pipe or you have a heavy ball, you have something, there's no confusion. You're just feeling it. Just trying to find ideas of how to make the player just feel what we want him to accomplish instead of maybe being confused by words.
Differences?
Yeah, there's a lot of differences. I mean, minor league players, the experience is not there. Some of them, the strength is not there, so you spend a lot of time more on strength and balance and things like that. With major league players, every decision that a major league player makes is a business decision. So it's hard. Some guys don't like drills, some guys like drills. Some guys want to try different things. Some guys, they just want to, no, I'm good. We have to respect the major league players' desire of what they think they need to do to prepare for the game tonight. Minor leagues, you can force them to do it, like you're doing this. Big leagues is more a partnership. And like I tell our guys in the big leagues, you don't need to do these drills every day, but when you need it, they're there for you. That's correct. And there's a reason they have made a lot of money, because they're good. But they're also humans. A lot of players, when they make a lot of money, they don't work as they used to work before they had money. So of course, become a little inconsistent. And the biggest challenge for me, and I tell our coaches all the time, is that the bank account gets bigger, the IQ gets better. I know it doesn't, money doesn't make you smarter. The learning makes you smarter. So that's the challenge with a lot of players, that you see their career go up and they kind of here and then you see like Chu, for example, career goes up and he just continued to go because he has a growth mindset. He continued to work hard and learn and always trying to try things and see if it works for him. And even though he was our highest paid, he still acted like he was a rookie, learning every single day. What a lot of other players in a lot of teams is like, I'm good. You have two groups, one that continue to push the envelope and want to get better, and one that I'm in big leagues and good.
Yeah.
No, it's been a difficult transition, especially for Latin players are so used to just play. And now you get information. Pitchers on the other team got information against you. And defenses are playing you a certain way. So I think the transition has been a little difficult, but now, because you're getting exposed every day, you get used to it. It can be harder because it's a lot of information, but it also can be easier if you learn to pick the right information. I tell our players it's like a buffet. You go buffet, there's a lot of food. If you eat all of it, you tell me it's gonna hurt. But if you eat the right one, then you feel good and you think that you got your money's worth. And I think a lot of our players are learning to use the information that they need to compete. The older players, they weren't used to that technology, and it's kind of feel like it's brand new language. But now, the more we talk about it, the more they get used to it. The thing is that baseball, especially in batting, it's like a cat and mouse game. 90s, early 2000s, pitchers were trying to throw low in the zone. So hitters would start trying to, like they would swing down, they hit a lot of ground balls, so they realized if we swing up, low in the zone, then we elevate the baseball, we get power. When now, pitchers adjust to that, now they're throwing high, fastballs, high spin. So now guys that had this, now they're struggling. It's like a chess game. Now the pitchers made an adjustment, now we have to make an adjustment. So yeah, you're always adjusting depending on the trends. And you know, the industry pays players depending on those trends. So now it's a lot of power and that, so guys are trying to hit for power. Then I think the game gets harder because of pitcher's velocity and defense. I think it's gonna go back to making more contact. I think that's where baseball is going now. Well, Chu, I know because I love him. He was ahead of his time. He was already doing what this game now expects from you. He knew how to hit within his zone. He understood a higher level hitting, and that's why he was so successful. So a lot of the stuff that we asked some of the other players to do, he was already doing it. So for him, it was an easy transition. So that's why, and what happened 2019, he actually broke his record home runs, all that, because he just made some little adjustments, and then all of a sudden it took off. Yeah. Well, it's humbling because you got a very successful player asking you, hey, what can we do to get better? And I asked him, what do you want to get better at? He said, well, I want to get better at hitting the inside pitch. I said, yeah, I see that. You're very good left center, you're good in the strike zone, but a lot of it was that he would close himself off. So we just learned to try to keep himself more square. So I had him put an eye patch on this eye, so if he's here, he couldn't see me, so he had to, so from then on, he started trying to get his face directly to the pitcher, and that's how everything started that way. But it was very humbling because he was arguably our best hitter, and he's asking me for help. So I knew that it was gonna be a great relationship. The thing is that he brings so much more than a great player. His quiet leadership, the way he prepares, the example that he is for the younger players. So his value, if a team is only seeing the value on the field, they're missing the point. Transform people just because of the way he is. Because they look at it, he's a guy that, it was our highest paid player, he was our hardest worker. So that's what you want on you stars, that they become your best players. So I think the environment right now in the baseball industry with COVID and all the other stuff is that try to keep the finances in order after they lost a lot of money last year. So what I told him yesterday is, I bet on yourself. Like the cream rises to the top. I know that as soon as they get to know him, like he's gonna be a big part of whichever team.
What do you think Rangers will bring him?
I don't know. I mean, I want him there. I mean, it helps me when he's there.
Yeah.
He needs to finish his career maybe with a playoff team or somebody, like people can see what he does, and maybe that's one of the reasons, but I really don't know. A good hitter is, mechanics are mechanics. If you are at a high level, you're in the Korea Major Leagues, Japan Major Leagues, American Major Leagues, that means that you're a good player. But I think the separator is mental stability. Can you control your mind when things are difficult? Every pitcher is different problem. So do you go in there with the same tools, hammer, 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 or do you have different tools to be able to succeed at this particular moment with this particular pitcher and team? So I think to me, those are the major things about being able to succeed at a high level, is that can you control your mind and can you use a strategy to be able to compete at a very difficult level. As far as like a younger player, being able to hit the ball hard, be able to make contact, to be able to have a good approach, of course, those are very important. But at a high level, can you stay within yourself when you're competing, and can you continue to make adjustment like a physical chess game? Pitcher makes a move, you make a move. I think a lot of the guys that struggle, they just want to make one move, and then you see the inconsistencies.
Okay,
Is that good?
Thank you so much. Yes, really.
Awesome. Thank you. Well, thank you so much for having me. That was great.
Yeah.